Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be drawing 02, and before we actually do start the drawing process and everything, I quickly want to mention that I do have a Patreon, so if you're new to my channel and you want to support me, I do have that. It will be linked down in the description or pinned at the very top of the comments. You can donate anywhere from $2 a month to, $5, $10, $20, or $50. And the more that you guys give me, the more that you guys get back or receive as a benefit. And I do want to mention that I actually changed a few things and, updated a few things. So basically, whenever you, leave a comment down below of what you want to see drawn, it's not always guaranteed to be selected because of how many comments there is. I can't do all of them at once. It's near impossible. So I thought this would be kind of, unique and different by adding that as a benefit to one of my tiers. So if you donate to me, monthly, you get guaranteed a video tutorial on YouTube, despite the fact of what it is. So it can be literally anything as long as it is appropriate, of course. And I will shout out your name on, YouTube at the beginning of the video or at the very end. So I thought that would be kind of neat, something a little bit different. If you are at all interested, please check out my Patreon. But without further ado, let's get right into the drawing video. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, I'm actually going to start using a few, I wouldn't say guidelines, but I'm going to say sketch marks because she is facing this way, which is actually one of my weaknesses. So just bear with me. Try to follow along if you can, but I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to start, make sure your lines are pretty light, pretty easy to erase if you mess up. I'm gonna start by making a whole bunch of sketch marks, and I'm gonna try to get a mostly, circle shape. This will be her head, and I'm gonna bring it down over here, and then about right here on this side, I'm gonna start shaping the face. So I'm gonna bring out her cheek, bring this part in, which is her chin, of course, and then I'm gonna come down and stop about right here. And as you can see, all of these are because I didn't like the shape of it, so I ended up going upwards, and that way I can just erase it. So I know that was like really quick little getting the head, shape in, but it's the only way sometimes for me to get it completely perfect instead of being so like precise and like pressing hard down on the pencil and like focusing too much, because then it's not always guaranteed to turn out the way that I want it to. So I figured out that doing it this way is a lot easier. Okay, but now I'm gonna put just a very, very faded line down the middle, and then one about right here, which might change actually, because sometimes I notice that I still have this line off. Okay, but now I'm gonna put one of her ears over here. You can see just a little bit of it, as well as this one over here, which is actually going to be hidden behind some hair. So if you want to put the whole thing in, that's fine, but I'm not going to bother because if, hair is going to cover it while I finish it. Okay, but now I'm going to start focusing on the actual face details. And I'm going to start over here with the first eye. And again, as you can see, I'm making very light strokes. I'm not trying to press too hard. And I'm gonna bring a shape kind of like that. I'm not sure if I like it, I might change it. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with the eyelid. And as I go along, I'm gonna make some changes, so this probably doesn't look at all perfect, and it doesn't. Okay, and I'm gonna try to give her a few eyelashes. And I've noticed with traditional, drawing whatever, I'm actually really terrible at drawing eyelashes. I don't know why. I've gotten so used to digital that I can't seem to draw eyelashes. So I'm gonna worry about that later. I'm actually gonna go in with the actual eye next. I'm gonna make a shape like that. It's more so towards the edge of this part, of course, and then we're gonna come down about right there, bring it in because there is like a highlight or a glare. And because why not, I'm just gonna go in and start giving the eye some details. So I'm bringing this part down, basically shading the top, and then gonna bring a shape like this down, which is of course her pupil. And then I like to go in and just give some extra, details. Okay, so I'm noticing that the face shape is a little bit off, so I'm going to change just a little bit of it, not too much. I just want to shrink her cheek size down, not make it so sharp. I'm actually probably going to come back to that. Let's actually go in with the next eye. So I'm going to try to place it about the same, size, whatever. And don't mind me as I try to mimic what I just did. If you can't follow along, if you want to pause it, feel free to. But I'm just doing the same exact thing over there. Okay, so for the most part, I have the eyes down. I'm not sure if I'm too fond of them. I might change them, to be honest, because I typically am known for doing that, but for right now, I think they are lined up because I actually lifted my piece of paper up to the sunlight, the window, and I saw the image reversed, and they do seem pretty even. So let's continue with the eyebrows. I'm just gonna make a pretty arched one like that and kind of do the same thing on the top right here, and then the same thing over here. Nothing too fancy, just like that. Okay, and now we're gonna start with the nose and mouth. So for her nose, it's very simple. We're just gonna put a very basic plain little dot like that, or a little line, I should say. Now, the photo that I'm looking off of, which I do not, I don't own the photo, all credit does go to the original artist, which I don't have that information, unfortunately, but she is licking her fingers, so it's actually going to overlap right here with her fingers, I should say. So I'm gonna start making very fainted lines like this. And then right about here is where her middle finger is going to come in. This part does kind of bend downwards. And as you can see, I'm not the best at drawing hands, so if you are not either, don't worry about it. Okay, well, as you can see, this is not the best hand, like usual. I feel like I say that in every single video, but I'm telling you guys, hands is my my weakness, pretty much with everyone. So once again, I might make changes to that as well, but for the most part, it's gonna start bending right here, and you just want to put the pointer finger up here, closer to the nose. Then this one's gonna overlap towards the bottom, and then the rest, kind of goes from there. But we're gonna actually put in her mouth right here, and it's gonna be open. So once we get that down, I'm gonna start curving it upwards like this. And then right about here, her tongue does stick out just a little bit. So something like that. And I might have to lower this finger. But yeah, you're gonna make a sharp tooth, like a fang right there. And then you're gonna see a little bit of her bottom, teeth right here, along with this one. So yeah, as you can see, it is slightly off. So again, don't mind me, I'm going to adjust this finger. Okay, now there is a little bit of saliva that is connecting from this tooth, to the bottom one, but because of the way this pencil works and the shading, you're not really gonna see it, even if I put a little line right there. Hopefully you guys can do that to yours, but if not, it's no big deal. So now I'm going to start with the rest of the head because, as you can see, she looks kind of bald. So let's start about right here. We're gonna start with a very, sharp bang. And then towards the center, they do kind of start looking as if they were, freshly cut or something like that. I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Basically, you want to make strokes downwards and not press too hard again. That way it looks more natural, more flowy. And then we can go ahead and start erasing some of this. Okay, and then there is a part right over here where it's gonna go away from the center bangs, and that's where a little hair piece comes down and does something like this. We're actually gonna bring it down, it's gonna slightly curve, do something like that. And that's not really the best, but not too worried about how it's shaped. You can pretty much do this however you guys want to, but I'm just trying to look off the photo. Okay, so now I'm just going to continue with the rest of the hair. I know that there's another hair piece over here, so we're going to kind of round this part, bring this over that ear, and then the rest will go behind this hand and then back down here. Or actually no, you won't see it past this part. We're going to finish the arm after a while, so just bear with me, but for right now I'm just trying to get her head shaped in and the hair in. Okay, so let's actually continue. I'm gonna start doing these sketch marks again, and I'm gonna start making a shape like that, basically rounding her head, which is probably not perfect, so let me go ahead and make sure it looks accurate. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this would be called. I just know that on top of it looks like she has little horns, so if I sound ignorant, please forgive me. But I'm gonna make a little shape like that that kind of looks like you know, a ribbon. And then I'm going to start curving it up towards the center, kind of bends right there, and then does the same thing over here. Now, right about here will be where the, I want to say, little horns go. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she's like a robot, so I could be wrong on that though. So yeah, let's continue. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, something like that. Apologies if you can't see it. Okay. And now let's continue with the rest of the head. So I'm gonna make stroke marks like this again. And the photo that I'm looking off of, I'm gonna be very honest, it's kind of revealing, so I don't have enough room to cover all of it, which I guess I purposely did because I'm not sure if any of you want to see that, but we will draw some of it. You'll know what I'm talking about in just a minute, so just bear with me. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and finish the hand, the arm, I should say. So we're gonna come down like this and then bring it outwards like that. This will be her elbow, of course. We're gonna bring it in like that, and then over here will be where her shoulder is. So you're gonna see a little bit of the arm over here, which I will be adjusting here after a while because I can see that this is slightly off. Okay, so we do have a shape like that, and then it bends up into the arm up here. Now the next thing that we're going to do, we're gonna go back over here, and we're gonna put in a little bit of her neck over there. You can barely see it, but then we're gonna bring this down, and it's gonna lead up into the other shoulder, which is a little bit, you know, tilted downwards. And that's where you're gonna stop about right there. And then her chest is going to come into place. So this is the part I was talking about. I'm just going to go ahead and draw this without really saying much. Okay, so you basically want to make a shape like that, and then you're going to bring it inwards like that, and then basically do another half circle. This is basically just the shirt though, so let's go ahead and go over here. One of her straps is actually falling off her shoulder, and then you're gonna bring it in like that. It's gonna go behind the hair just a little bit, and then that's where it's gonna kind of point down, come in. It's gonna do a whole lot of bumps and creases and whatnot. And then the same thing over there. And then from there, of course, we can actually go in and start defining it just a little bit. Okay, now the the final touches, I'm gonna go over here and put in just a little bit more hair, and then that's actually pretty much about it. I know that a lot of this was probably gonna be, you know, sped up, and there's some parts that I had to kind of cut out. The reason for that, of course, is that I need to not make the videos extremely long because I will run out of space, so please forgive me. Hopefully you got the gist down. Again, if not, feel free to pause the video, try to look off it as best as you can. But yeah, I'm thinking about inking this and then shading it and then calling it good. Okay, inking it might have been a bad idea. This is killing me. Okay, well, there you guys have it. I did not get to shade it. I'm still possibly thinking about doing that, but that took much longer than expected. So I'm not really sure if I should shade all of it or just some of it. Probably just gonna shade some of it. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments what you want to see next, and it might be chosen, of course, but if it is not, again, please feel free to check out my Patreon, and that can basically guarantee, you know, have your video request selected. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video here very soon.